In this video tutorial, I'm going to walk you step by step on how to make $10, $20, $30, and even more, turning your little capital, even if you have just $10, to at least $1,000 trading features. And we are doing all of this using the Bitunix exchange. And before we go further, just to show you that this is actually possible, you can see that currently I have some trades that are running. I'm going to show you how I took these trades, the strategy that I used, and some of the indicators that aided my decision. So I'm going to be sharing all of this with you in this video. So stick with me. As you can see right here, we have the XAI token, which is already up by 50% plus with just our $10 capital in that. You can see we have another one, INIT, which is already up by 20% with about $20 margin in that trade as well. And it goes on, right? We have OG as well. You can see we have trade on OG with about $9 in that trade. So all of this, if you gather all the positive PNL right here, you see that if I decide to close this, already today's target is met, right? And this is how I've done this time with that number, and I've been showing you some of these strategies and the indicators I use very often in all of my videos. And in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step on how to do this. But before we go further, guys, the first thing I want you to do is the only way trading can become even sweeter than honey is when you learn to manage your emotion, because trading generally, it is 80% psychology and then 20% technical. It is not all about the technicals or the indicators I'm going to show you how to use. It is how you think, how you manage yourself, because there are a lot of manipulations. When you hear about liquidity sweep, inducement, these are all manipulations that plays you, the retail trader, to making a lot of impulsive decision that end up giving your money to the opposite direction of whatever trade you're entering. So you need to learn to be patient, and that is why we are creating a community where we trade together, share ideas together. If you want to learn more, join us on Telegram. The link will be in the video description. And for the exchange we are using the Bitunix exchange. And the reason why I'm using the Bitunix exchange is because it is actually user friendly, and with Bitunix you don't need trading view extra, because all of these things, even if you are using the mobile app, because I'm doing this using my app on the go, you have access to trading view inside the Bitunix exchange. You don't need to a paid trading view account, because everything is here. You can use as many indicators as you want using just one platform. That's why I'm using this. So if you don't have an account with Bitunix exchange, they're currently giving up to 500 USDT to new users and even existing users once you start using the platform. So you can use the link in the video description to sign up for an account. So with that said, once you sign up for an account, KYC is not necessary, but if you want more, definitely you want to do KYC when it comes to daily withdrawal limits and all of that. So if you want to do KYC, make a deposit into the Bitunix exchange. And once you do that, you want to transfer some funds into your futures account. And the way you access the futures trading account, you see down here, the menus here, we have futures and then we have spot. So if you want to trade spot, you go to the spot tab. You want to trade futures, you come to the futures tab. And once you're on the features tab, you can see the interface right here. So at the top, we have some menus right here. We have USDT features, we have USDC feature, and then we have coin feature. And if you want to start copying traders, pro traders on the platform, you use the copy trading option. So the one we are going to be focusing on is the USDT feature. Why is that? Because we have USDT. It is USDT we want to use to start trading. So with our USDT, we can trade all the pairs that are listed on the Bitunix platform. We can trade all the pairs. So we use USDT to trade and we earn in USDT, or if we are making some losses, we equally lose the USDT we already have. Now, if it is USDC you have, this is another stable coin. After USDT, this is the second popular stable coin. If it is USDC you have, then you can go to the USDC option. It means you can use your USDC to trade all the pairs in the market. And if it is a coin you have, now for the coin features, if I have BTC, it means only BTC I'm going to be trading, and I'll be earning in BTC, I'll be losing BTC. So as against using USDT to trade all the pairs, here on the coin features, if I go, let me just go ahead and click on it. on the coin futures, you will see it will tell you here that your balance is in BTC. So if I decide to change to Ethereum, I need Ethereum to be able to trade here. If I decide to change to Dogecoin, I need Doge to be able to trade here. But if you want to trade all assets using just one stable coin, you either do the USDC futures or you do the USDT futures. USDT is what all of us are used to, so stick to that one. After that, the next thing you want to do is to select the token. This is where we select all the tokens that we're trading. So if I go ahead and click on that, this dialog box pops up, and this is where we can select all of the tokens. There are hundreds of tokens that are listed here. So Bitunix is fully equipped for you to start trading. So all of your favorite altcoins are listed here, so you can just get access to all of them. Then after that, the next thing you want to do is here is your order book. So if you want to see the activities that are going on with that particular token, you'll get access to the order book right there. If you don't understand how the order book works, let me know in the comment section, and I'll do a separate video telling you how to use this order book. But this is where you get all the limit orders for those who are buying and for those who are selling. So you can see the amount they are selling, the amount they are buying, all of that in the market. Then here we have our margin mode, we have cross margin, and then we have isolated margin. So if you click on that option, you will see right here we have cross and isolated margin. And I'm always on the cross margin, but for beginners, I always advise that you use isolated margin. The reason why I shouldn't advise you use cross margin is because many of you don't want to lose money, but you want to make money. And with that kind of mindset, you always enter a trade on cross margin, and when the market goes against you because you don't want to use stop loss and get stopped at, if the market continues to go against you, you will be looking at the market and it's going against you, and the next thing you get liquidated. And when you get liquidated, you lose your own money. You lose the entire capital, right? That's why I always advise that you switch from cross to isolated. Because on isolated margin, if for instance, I have about $60 right here, and I enter a trade out of this $60 is $5, and I'm using cross margin, and I refuse to put stop loss. I refuse to get stopped out if the market is going against me. If it continues to go against me, I'm going to end up losing the money, the whole entire money I have on my futures account, because I'm using cross margin. But when you use isolated, it is only that $5 you enter the trade that will be affected. All right. So to be on a safe side, always use the isolated margin until when you get used to the platform, or when you have enough capital to stay in the market as long as you want, you can switch to cross margin. Then this is where the magic of multiplying our capital comes in. And you can see for this particular token, I'm using 3x leverage. And if I scroll down here, you will see, let me just show you that even with 3x leverage, you can still make profit in the market right here. So we have about $8 as our margin in this trade. And then we are up already by $3. And you can see the ROI here is about 36%. That is with a 3x leverage. Some of you think that with low leverage, you cannot make profit in the market, but this is an example that with as low as 3x leverage, you can make profit in the market. So I'll come back to explain all of this, how you get liquidated and all of that. But before we go there, let me just finish up with this. So this is where you select your leverage. You just click on it and then adjust it. If I go ahead and click on the 3x we have here, you can see for this particular token, the 0G token, we can go as high as 75x leverage, right? The higher the leverage, the faster and then the bigger the profit you make, and then the higher the leverage, the faster and the losses you can make in the market. So I always advise as a beginner that you stick with a very low leverage. You can start with 3x leverage, and then gradually you can increase to, let's say, 5, you can increase to 10, and it goes on that way. And if you want to adjust the leverage for both long and short at the same time, make sure that you have this button checked so that when you adjust the leverage here, it will equally automatically adjust on both sides. If you enter a long trade, it will be the same thing. You enter a short trade, it will be the same thing. Then the next thing you have on the Bitunix exchange is this single asset mode. Let me just click on that. If you see the X here, it means you are on single asset mode. So on this particular option right here, I will always advise as a beginner, you stick to the single asset mode, because the multi-asset mode means your whole account, if you're having multiple trades running, they are all, affect each other. But I always stick to the single asset mode. You can equally read out the terms and conditions right there before you even switch. But to be on the safe side, leave it on single asset mode. Then the next thing is we have open and then we have close. But because we will be controlling our trades with stop losses, take profits, and all of that, we don't have anything to do with the close option. So we always stick to the open option. And after that, you have your order types. So right here we have limit. If I go ahead and click on the drop down right there, so they have order like the trigger order, trailing stop, and the rest. But our concern here is limit and market order. And once I select the limit order, it means that I have the option to input the price I want to buy, and I have the option to input the price I want to sell at. So you can use the limit and all of that to do that. Then the next thing is, if you select market order, let me go back. If you select market order, it means I'm buying immediately. So if I just click that, there's no option to add the price. We just add the amount we want to use to buy, and then we go ahead and buy immediately. Then the next thing, let me go back to that limit because that's the one we'll be using most of the time. The next thing after that is the amount you want to enter the trade with. Now, if you look here, mine is USDT. If I click on the arrow beside it, there are other options you have right here. So you can enter a trade with the quantity of the token you selected. You can enter a trade with USDT cost value, and then you can enter with USDT. You see, it says nominal value. Now, for the cost value, the reason why you should select this one here, the cost value means if I have $500, $200 in my trading account and I want to enter a trade, I want to use $5 as my margin or $10 as my margin, it is the same amount that you enter that trade with. Not like even if you are using 100x leverage, if you type $5 there, it is that $5 to use as your margin. That's the whole essence of this USDT cost value. That's the beauty with the Bitunix exchange. If you want to use the leverage equivalent for that, then you can go with the other USDT option. And if you know how to calculate with the token itself, you go with the token option. So that's the beauty. So I go with the USDT cost value. It means if I have decided to buy this particular token right here and I want to enter with my margin of $5, I just go ahead and put $5 right there. So I just click here and then put $5 right here. And if I scroll down here, you will see right here beneath where it says long, that's the same amount. Now it is $5 because there are fees. That's why it is 4.9 something, right? And beneath this open short option, you see the same amount that it will cost us. As against doing this calculation with the leverage equivalent or trying to calculate the token itself. So that's what I do there. And if I want to enter with $10, I just go ahead and type the $10 there. Or I can use this slider right here to select that I want to enter with 5% of my capital, 10% of my capital, and I go ahead and enter a trade. Then if you want to set stop losses and take profit before you enter that trade, you go ahead and check this option. So if I go ahead and check that option right there, I'll go ahead and add my take profit option right here, and then my stop loss price right there. We'll come back to this when we start analyzing. And if I want to use the advanced option, I can just go ahead and click on that. And once I click on the advanced option, a dialog box will pop up, and you can either put your take profit in percentage or put the price. Stop loss is the same thing. Now, when you come to the advanced option, make sure that you are on this. If you are going to open a long trade, make sure you use the open long option. If you are going to set for a short trade, make sure you switch to the short option, because if you do it the wrong way, you will get an error and it will not trigger. So that's it about take profit and stop losses. Then after that, the next thing is to go ahead and click on the open long if you want to go long, or open short if you want to go short. Then right here, down here, once your trade triggers, you will see them. Currently I have 4 trades running, and then I have open orders. So for the open orders, these are pending orders. When you set to buy or sell using limit orders, you will see all of your open orders right here. And when you are when your trade already triggers, you'll see them all on your position option. Now, when a trade triggers, you'll see them on the position option. And I'm going to use one of these to demonstrate. Let's use the XAI, for instance. So you will see the XAI triggered. And one beautiful thing is I can enter a trade with one with 3x leverage. I can enter another one with 2x leverage. I can enter another one with 20x leverage, and it will just work. As you can see, for XAI, we have 20x leverage and we're on cross margin. And you can see the unrealized PNL here, which is the equivalent of what we are making. 50% of this margin will enter that trade with. You can see it right there. And you'll see the position size. For instance, if what I was telling you, showing you about the USDT cost value and all of that, if you use the token, this is the quantity of the token you would have entered that trade with. So if you don't know that this is what you would have entered that would have cost you $10, you just switch to the USDT cost value so that when you put $10, this one is automatically calculated for you. And you will see your entering price here. You will see the current market price. Because it is a long trade, if this market price is lower than this current market price, will be losing. But because it's higher than the entering price, rather, that is why we are making profit. Then on this same trade, you will see the margin rate right here, and you will see your liquidation price. All right. So if our margin rate is showing red and negative and all of that, it means our liquidation price is affected. But because we are in profit, our liquidation price will automatically disappear. It's only when this market start going against us to some level that you will begin to see liquidation price. And that is why I don't use the same leverage on all trades, because when one is going against you, it will be affecting the liquidation price and the rest. And if you look at all the 4 trades that I have here, zero liquidation prices on it. All right, zero liquidation prices on it, even when some of these trades are 20x and some are 10x and some are this one is 8x and then this one is 3x. So I just had to manage that to make sure that I'm on the safe side, because I look at the volatility of the token and say, if I go here, this is how much I'm going to lose, and if I go here, this is how much I'm going to lose. So I adjust all of that to make sure that I make this to favor me, and I'll show you that in a moment. So if you enter a trade and you are going to get liquidated, you'll see it right here. But right now, all of my trades are safe. I don't have any liquidation price anywhere close. But it doesn't mean that you will not use stop loss or take profit, right? But now that the trade is already in my favor, going in my favor, what do I do? If I want to start adjusting and take profit or close half of that trade and move stop loss to entering and all of that, how do I do that? All I just need to do, if for instance we use this one, I go to the TPSL option to adjust my take profit and SL. I can add to this trade if I want to. I can add and reduce actually. If I want to close half of my trade or close the entire trade, I can use that one. If I'm closing everything entirely, I use a flash close option. If I click on flash close and I go ahead and confirm, my trade will automatically be closed. But if I click on the close option and a dollar bar will pop up, now I can use this slider right here to say I want to close 50% of that trade. So if I close 50% of that trade, you will see that we are making 50% profit. So 50% of the profit too will be secured for us. And we want to close at market order. If you set limit, then you need to add the price at which you want to close. So I just go ahead and click on confirm and confirm again, and the trade has successfully been closed. And you can see that we have secured half of that. Now here you see realized PNL, not unrealized PNL, right? Now this unrealized PNL here, it is not our money yet until we close this trade. When we close the trade, that is when you see realized PNL, because anything can happen and this profit is wiped out and you see that the trade is even taking money from your account. That's how you adjust that. Now that I've closed half of this trade, I can go back to that TPSL option and click on it. Now, once I click on the TPSL option, I can go ahead and enter my take profit here, and I'll move my stop loss above entry to secure that trade completely. And if I want to do that, you can see that this is the current market price and this is our entering price. So to move stop loss above entry, what do? You want to adjust this entering price right here. All right, you want to make your stop loss to be your entering price. If it is your entering price, it means if you come and close, you are breaking even. If it is above your entering price, you will still make some profit when that trade closes. So let's assume that we're going to put our take profit to be, let's say 0.1. And if it goes to 0.1, you can see that this is the profit we'll be making right here, okay, which is actually massive. But if it doesn't and it comes against us, we want to come here and say let's break even if this market comes against us. So what will I do? I'll go here and type in here 0. What is that our entering price again? You can see right there 0.015 𝗕𝗲𝗡𝗙. So we can go and say our stop loss, we want it to be 0.016, 15, let's say 156 or so, or 158 for instance. So it means if the trade comes and hit this stop loss, we'll be making additional 28% from the current profit that we are risking, and then we'll be closing that trade with about $1 plus, right? So this trade is already secured. This particular trade, click on confirm, is already secured. So we are not going to lose anything if this market comes against us. What we are going to lose is just the remaining $1 plus, because we have secured profit already. And that is how you manage your trade whenever the trade triggers and is going in your favor. That's how you manage it, closing half of it, or closing the entire trade, or just moving stop loss above entry, or moving stop loss to break even, which is the entering price. All right. And that's how you adjust all of that. Then what else do I need to show you? The next thing now is, how do you know when to enter this trade? Okay. To go back, I want to close all these trades that I'm currently opening. I just go ahead and click on the close all option, right? I can just go ahead and click on the close all option, click on confirm, and all of those trades will be closed. You see that all my open positions have been closed, and I've made, if you calculate all the $5, $4, $2, $3 that I made in those 4 trades, I've made more than $10, and my target for today is met, and I'll wait again for tomorrow. If you want to see the history of all of your trades, you go to this icon right here, you click on that icon, and once you click on the icon, you will see all of your open orders, your order history, your position history. Here you will see all the trades you've closed in profit and in losses. You will see everything right here. So you just go ahead and look at this and see all of the trades you close in profit and in losses, right? So with all of this said, if you want to analyze the chart and start knowing when to enter a trade and when to exit, all you just need to do is to click on this candle icon here. Remember, I said you don't need trading view when using Bitunix. So click on it. And once I click on it, it brings us here. And I want to show you using the OG as an example. I'm currently on the 15 minutes time frame, but normally I'll go to as high as a 4 hours time frame and use that as my time frame to look at entries and all of that. So the way I enter the OG trade, you see, for a while that OG was trending lower, and eventually OG created a low here, right? And then came back to create another low that is higher than this previous low. And what happened? We consolidated here for a while. My moving average, after sloping downward, started this way. We now had this parabolic move or impulsive move to the upside. Now, when that happened, I'm not going to jump in immediately. When a move like this happen in the market, you don't jump in immediately, right? So I want to wait for a pullback. I want to wait for a pullback, and when that pullback happens, I want to start buying. So what was I looking at? I'm using my EMA as support this time around. So I want this market to pull back, not close below that EMA, and then we're going to be buying. That is exactly what I saw on the 4 hours time frame, and I decided to go to the 15 minutes time frame to take this trade. So to set up this EMA, all you just need is just to click on EMA right here. The ones that I highlighted is the one that I'm using right now. That is, selected. There are other indicators that you can use right here. You can see there are a lot of indicators, default indicators. So if you click on that, EMA will come up here. But in your own case, you have multiple EMA. So you want to go ahead and click on the setting icon right here. If you click on the setting icon, you'll see where it says indicator. And once you click on indicator, this is the one we are going to adjust the EMA. Click on this setting icon right here. And once you click on that, once you come in here, if there are multiple indicators that are selected, go ahead and uncheck all of that. Select any color you want. Here you don't adjust color. The colors are by default then you go ahead and change the value here to 25. If it is not 25, they change it to 25. That's the only EMA that I use on the chart, as you can see here. And when candlesticks are trading above it, I want to see it serve as a support. And when candlesticks are trading below that EMA, I want to see it serve as resistance, and I'll be looking for sell on those resistance, okay? And then I'll be looking for buy from the support level. The same thing happens if you use this, whether you use it on the 1 hour time frame, you use it on the 15 minutes time frame, and it goes on, right? And to back this up, all you just need to do is to use the RSI to support it. So that when RSI go to overbought level, you know how to use RSI, overbought and oversold level. For now, that's what I use when I'm using this on the app. So overbought and oversold level, you can use RSI to support this as well. By default, the RSI doesn't need setup here. So you can do, but if you want to gain more, all you just need to do is to switch from this regular chart option on the Bitunix exchange to TradingView automatically. This is one of the beauty that makes it stand out from other exchanges. And how do you do that? As you can see right here, I'm on the basic chart. So click on that option and automatically you switch to the TradingView chart. That's how you switch. And when you switch, you have the option. So if I click on settings, you have the option to add indicators, drawing tools, long and short position tools. You can use all of that inside of the app. If you already have an idea of how to use TradingView, you use all of that inside the Bitunix app. Without paying, you can add multiple indicators. Not like TradingView that will restrict you to a certain indicator if you are not a paid member. You can use all of that inside of this, but I'm going to make an entire video to show you how this works. So let's switch back to the basic, and the EMA is just the magic that I use here. All right, the EMA is the magic I use here to make decisions in the market that actually favors me, as I've just showed you. So make sure you switch your EMA to 25, or you can use any favorite EMA that you already know of, and then support that with your RSI. And when you see, if I want to take a trade, for instance, around that area, just click and hold. And once I click and hold, you will see this plus button here, right here. You see this plus button right here. If I go ahead and click on the plus button, let's say that's where I want to enter a trade, this pops up. Then I can go ahead and adjust my leverage and then put the amount I want to enter that trade with, open long or open short. Right, so even on the chart, you can use that to enter trades, or you just come back to this trading interface and enter your trades right here. This is how you can stand a chance to make $10, $20, $40, $50 and more, growing your little capital to $1,000 or more using the Bitunix exchange. I hope this video is helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if there's anything you don't understand in the comment section. I'll definitely make a video about that for you. If you don't have a Bitunix account, link to sign up will be in the video description, and you can get up to $10,000 as welcome bonus. And if you want to learn more, you want to take advantage of all of our free signals, join us on Telegram using the link in the video description, or check out my bio for that. I'll see you guys in the next video. For now, bye and peace.